Hi, I'm Yoko, and welcome to my Japan vlog. Finally finished, only 5 months later. This was a 13-day adventure full of food, shopping, and nerdy fun, so let's jump in. Day 1 was mostly travel. I landed, immediately grabbed my favorite milk tea for the train ride, and my first snack in Japan was Lawson's cheesy chicken. Sushi dinner and 7-Eleven creme brulee ice cream closed out the perfect first night. Day 2 kicked off at Donki, the only place open early enough for the jet-lagged. But then we headed to Sensoji Temple in Asakusa, one of Tokyo's oldest and most iconic temples. By the way, I also have daily mini-vlogs and bonus content that go into more detail on some of the activities you'll see in this video, so be sure to check out my playlist linked below to see them all. I decided to get my omikuji, a written fortune. First, you deposit 100 yen in the offering box, then you shake a metal canister, and then a stick pops out that leads you to a drawer with your fortune. I got a regular fortune, which I'm definitely calling a win because it wasn't a bad fortune. To summarize, it told me everything will work out, eventually. So that's great, but I needed an immediate blessing, so I treated myself to a melon soda, one of my favorite sweet pick-me-ups in Japan. Then we strolled down the Sumida River over to Tokyo Skytree, home to a lot of amazing character shopping, but today's mission was lunch at the Kirby Cafe. Reservations are really hard to get, but the good news is they have a takeout window, so I was still able to get the cutest burger ever. Almost too cute to eat. Almost. Back in Asakusa, I couldn't resist a creme brulee sweet potato. And yes, it was as delicious as it sounds.
Oh my god, why is that so good?
Day 3 started at Takagi Shrine, also known as the Onigiri Temple. The story goes that long ago, farmers would leave rice balls here as offerings, and today visitors leave behind musubi-shaped stones instead. They have a little station set up where you can draw your own, so of course I left my own behind. Hopefully it brings me some good luck. And just in case, I brought home a little onigiri omamori as well. This jam-packed day included not one, but 2 viral restaurants, and honestly, both turned out to be 100% worth the hype. Breakfast was at Benitsuru, home of the fluffiest, most ridiculously amazing pancakes I've ever eaten. I do have a video that goes into more detail on this whole pancake experience, so be sure to check that out if you're curious. I ate every last bite, and it was so good I'm like drooling right now thinking about it again. With a full belly, it was time to shop through Harajuku and Shibuya. I was excited to pick up my first pair of Onitsuka Tigers, before of course all the requisite toy shopping. Toy Sapiens, Kiddieland, the Nintendo Store, Pokemon Store, multiple Pop Marts in search of the Japan exclusive Yuki series, tragically sold out everywhere I looked today, and many other fun stops along the way before ending the night at the most beautiful Disney store. I really love their Toy Story display. This footage is not the prettiest, but trust me when I say this might have been my favorite meal of the whole trip. Zuicho is a tiny viral katsudon spot in Shibuya, and it 100% lived up to the hype. So freaking good. Dessert was whipped cream, cake in a can from a vending machine, and it was actually surprisingly delightful. Not too sweet. Then of course we crossed the Shibuya Scramble and said goodnight to Hachiko before heading home for the night. And by home I mean my hotel. That was a busy day. Day 4 kicked off in Ikebukuro at Sunshine City Mall, which is basically paradise if you love character shopping. I started at Pikachu Sweets for an adorable little treat. Because who doesn't love an adorable little treat? I do have a mini vlog that shows more of Pikachu Sweets and all the treats and goodies I picked up. Once again, that's linked below, because now it's time for probably the best part of Sunshine City Mall, the Bandai Namco Cross Store, home to over 3,000 gachapon machines. We're talking rows and rows of machines, everything from cute characters to the most random little things. You can really lose your sense of time and space here, so you've been warned. And if crane games are your thing, there's plenty of those here as well. And if that's not enough for you, they've got their latest action figures too, including SHF and more. There are a ton of fun shops in this mall, with one of my favorites being the Studio Ghibli store. Worth the visit even just to see the decor, but trust me, you're gonna want to buy all the things. And I did. There's even a Toys R Us in here. Some of the toys are pretty unique to Japan, and some are more familiar, and apparently they use the term kidult here too. Still don't like it, but I did find the Japanese Yuki set I was looking for at Ikebukuro's Pop Mart. Next stop, Shinjuku. It was already starting to rain at this point, but nothing was going to stop us from visiting Godzilla. You head up to Hotel Gracery, and suddenly, there it is, this massive Godzilla head looming over the city. We decided to get out of the rain and see what we could see inside the hotel. There was this cool Godzilla vs. Mothra display, as well as a timeline of their movie posters. Unfortunately, you can't walk out on the terrace, but you can go to the cafe and see the back of its head. Still pretty rad. You also have to see the Shinjuku Crossing cat outside the train station. It's so silly, but so cool. I mean, look. So the final stop of the day was Akihabara, but at this point it was pouring, so I put my camera away and I don't have any footage. Just picture me drenched, weighed down with shopping bags, but still 10 out of 10 committed to the toy hunt. You're gonna have to take my word for it. I just think Tokyo Station is so beautiful. Day 5, you guys, is Nintendo Museum Day. I hopped on the bullet train from Tokyo to Kyoto, stocked up with way more snacks than I needed, but ate them all anyway. And before I knew it, I was walking up to the museum itself. I've got a full dedicated vlog just for this day, so if you want the deep dive on all the exhibits and games and all the cool things I got, you're definitely going to want to check that one out. Day 6 was all about Kyoto, starting with the famous Fushimi Inari Shrine. Yes, that's the one with thousands of red torii gates. It's beautiful, it's spiritual, and it's a killer leg day. So many stairs. I didn't go all the way to the top because I was worried about the weather and the slippery stairs, which between us, I fell down anyway. But we went high enough to get a killer view. I'm sure it's even more breathtaking on a clear day. I don't know who this guy was showing off for. Seriously, bruh. Bonus points for the temple cats casually hanging out like they own the place. Which of course they do. I took a hidden side path from the shrine that led to a smaller, secret bamboo forest. It's not as huge as the famous Arashiyama bamboo grove, but it's way less crowded. There were no other people around, which made it feel extra magical. Now please enjoy some nature sounds. And with that, we headed back into town and experienced a different kind of culture. A Pokemon Center. Let me tell you, I'm a sucker for a pressed penny souvenir. Why? I have no idea, but look at how cute it is. The next stop was Nishiki Market, a 5-block long street with over 100 stores and restaurants. And honestly, it was only okay for me. It's so catered to tourists. But there were 2 things I really enjoyed. This gyoza shop with their fried Wagyu beef gyoza that was so good, I'm still dreaming about it. And Snoopy Chaya, the cutest little tea and gift shop where I enjoyed some tasty treats. After that, it was time to hop back on the Shinkansen to Tokyo. I even got a pretty decent view of Mount Fuji, although it was a little cloudy. We wrapped up the night with a quick browse of Tokyo Station's character street before calling it a day. Star Wars Celebration looms ahead, so day 7 started with a quick trip out to Chiba to pick up our passes. But then it was right back to Asakusa for some more treats. Nakamisedori by Sensoji Temple has so many delicious food options, and this meronpan ice cream sandwich was at the very top of my list. I got mine with matcha ice cream, and it was truly what dreams are made of. The main event for this day was the Tokyo Giants baseball game. And honestly, Japanese baseball is on a whole other level. I was so excited to go to a game because I had actually never been to one before in Japan. Of course, you'd expect plenty of merch for the home team Giants, but I got a kick out of the fact that the visitors are represented with their own goods shops too. My family is from Yokohama, so I felt a little biased towards the Bay Stars, and I had to take this little cutie home. If you have figured me out by now, you know that I was excited about the food. Forget nachos and hot dogs. It was a tough decision because there were a lot of amazing options, but there was only one thing on my mind. The meronpan burger. Would this be a terrible idea, or would it blow my mind? I had no idea, but I could not wait to find out.
That was a big bite!
The verdict is in. She liked it, and now I was ready to enjoy a baseball game, so once again, enjoy some sounds of nature. The beer girls sprinting up and down the stairs with full kegs on their backs? Yeah, they're the real MVPs. And we know I love a themed snack, so I went for the Tokyo Dome-shaped ice cream sandwich. It was unremarkable. And this whole day was yet another W on this trip. Welcome to a magical day 8. That's right, it's DisneySea Day. I got there around 8:15, doors opened at 9, and I made it in by 9:20. Not too bad. And honestly, the entrance here is my favorite of any of the Disney parks I've been to. Instant feels right from the start. It's so beautiful. I purchased Premier Access Passes for the new Peter Pan and Tangled rides. which were my top priority for today, and then dashed over to get into the standby line for Indiana Jones. Super fun with a photo that will last forever. Then it was time for one of the most special parts about DisneySea. Duffy Bear! I went straight into full-on Duffy mode. I found the cutest Duffy sunglasses and some other merch, and enjoyed some Duffy-themed snacks. I took my time wandering the park, just soaking in all the details before heading into Toyville. And that's where I unexpectedly fell in love with an army man. He was so much fun, easily one of my favorite little moments of the day. From there I journeyed over to the brand new Fantasy Springs area. It was almost time for Peter Pan, and that ride completely stole my heart. I was not expecting to love it that much, but it was definitely my favorite ride of the day. Was just so cute. But before I went on the Tangled ride, I decided to stop at the Snuggly Duckling for some food. I had some kind of tea, some kind of yogurt parfait, and I couldn't resist picking up the Best Day Ever Rapunzel mug to commemorate the occasion. But the best thing I had here was the shrimp katsu sandwich. This was actually delicious. Then it was time for me to ride Rapunzel's Lantern Festival, which was another super cute ride, and you can actually see the whole ride in its entirety on my YouTube channel as well, and of course linked below. So go check that out if you want to see the whole ride. I know what you're asking. Has she eaten enough? And the answer is no. It was time for me to pick up my all-time favorite Disney treat, the Toy Story Alien Mochi. This one came with a souvenir cup, which I obviously needed. And yes, it's still just as good as I remembered. After even more wandering around and soaking up the beauty of DisneySea, it was time for the ride I was both most dreading and most excited for. Journey to the Center of the Earth. I've actually been on this before on my previous trip to DisneySea, so I knew I'd survive, but I think I was so scared I can't remember a single thing about it. And honestly, I don't know why I was so scared. I think I just worked myself up about it being a fast ride. Look at me giving myself anxiety again. At least I have video evidence for myself next time I go that totally fine, no big deal. To close out the night, I grabbed one last meal, cause yep, I'm still hungry. The gyoza hot dog and a cocktail. Because hey, anxiety works up an appetite. I made one final round around the park to take in DisneySea in dark mode. Before finally heading out. Days 9, 10, and 11 were all about Star Wars Celebration Japan. I've already covered this convention extensively in a full vlog plus a bunch of additional videos. So if you want to see my Star Wars bounds, all the fun merch, and everything else from the show, be sure to check out my Star Wars Celebration playlist. And this sadly brings me to my last full day in Japan. I kept it pretty chill. I started with some shopping, stocking up on snacks, cosmetics, and a little more toy hunting. If my suitcase wasn't already crying from the rest of the trip, it was definitely in full panic mode by now. Then I grabbed lunch at a restaurant with the cat robot servers. I love these cat robot servers. I bought 2 different toy versions of it. Then I figured I might as well take a stroll down to Makuhari Beach in Chiba, and it was such a peaceful reset from all the convention chaos. Then I wandered through a beautiful Japanese garden nearby to end the day. Shall we enjoy some nature sounds again? Honestly, it was the perfect low-key wrap-up before heading home. Of course, my final stop in Japan had to be one last konbini run. How else was I going to survive that long flight? Then, before boarding, I treated myself to one last matcha ice cream at the airport. The perfect goodbye. Thank you so much for following along on my Japan adventure. If you haven't already, I'd really love for you to check out the rest of my Japan content. Thank you again, and I'll catch you next time.